She fought until her nails broke. A mother's grief is echoing across the nation. Her daughter, young, bright, and full of promise, Olorato Mongale, a 30-year-old psychology student, was brutally murdered in May. And yesterday, she was laid to rest. Her anguished mother spoke at the funeral.
I know how she's a fighter. I came born go government mortuary. I could see her when I go run. I want a man scam. I coupela scalampolati.
Those are the words, of course, of a grieving mother, Basitsane Mongale, speaking emotionally about watching CCTV footage of her daughter's abduction, saying it didn't align with her daughter's cautious personality. But then she also said she knows that her daughter fought to the very end. The minister in the Presidency for Women, Youth and People with Disabilities is Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga, who joins us now on the line to have a conversation about this. Minister, very good morning to you and thank you for your time.
Good morning to you, Bongani, and to your listeners.
One of the things that I think many South Africans are asking themselves after so many cases like this is, what do we do next? What do we do next? I keep referring, and I don't know if you recall this, Minister, the Gender-Based Violence Summit of 2018, where an activist disrobed in front of the president to show him her scars. And it was so awful to look at. The president was forced to look away. And we've had moments like that. And yet, here we are with Olorato joining yet this list, yet being another name on this list of gender-based victims. What do we do?
We have got to continue fighting the sketch, because we can't just decide that now that things are like this, there's nothing we can do. We've got to intensify our efforts. They are already there. You're referring to the 2019 Presidential Summit. It produced our National Strategic Plan. Out of that National Strategic Plan, we then have actually produced a comprehensive national prevention strategy on gender-based violence and femicide, which we are implementing. But of course, maybe to continue to alert everyone that we do have the problem of crime in South Africa, and any person to anyone must be a suspect. Then maybe believing that it's a boyfriend and etc., etc. Take time to know him before you can go out with them, because the criminals are studying as to how things are happening. So they are using social media today, and they look decent when they appear to any woman. Some, they are even handsome for that matter. They will be dressed and be well-groomed, but they are criminals. Like in the case of Orlando, that was a criminal, but well-groomed, prepared, and attractive, for instance, and therefore, out of what you see, you don't know that this is a criminal who has done so many things. So it's better to take time to know him, but we have, all of us, to continue fighting the scourge. Alerting everybody, because the criminals are actually studying.
Have we shifted the needle from, say, Uyinene Mkhwetyana to Olorato Mongale? Have we shifted the needle, or could those stories have happened days after each other?
In fact, we have. If you look at what we have done on the ground, before 2019, we did not have, for instance, a rapid response teams on the ground that are focusing on gender-based violence and femicide. We now have them in 45 municipalities. Before 2019, for instance, we did not have data capturers and technical teams that are talking to every municipality and capturing information from all municipalities. We now have those teams. They are on the ground and they work from premier's offices in our different provinces. We would wish to have more of those, probably at district level, but they are there already. We are running almost every day some of the awareness campaigns. Others may not be covered in the media. But like I was in Bloemfontein yesterday, a lady came to report to me that they are preparing a report for the training that was given to traditional leaders, religious leaders, all councillors, members of parliament in the Eastern Cape, teaching them about gender-based violence and how to campaign and run education awareness campaigns. That is what is happening on a day-to-day basis, and that is what we are intensifying. We now have the National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide Act passed, even if we have not as yet appointed, but we are in the process of appointing that council, which also will be an entity, a public entity that will on a day-to-day basis will be focusing on what must be done by South Africa to cap the scourge. So we have moved. However, crime is crime in South Africa, and I think it's important to say that.
What conversations do you think we ought to be having as a society? Because right now, in someone's car, listening to us, driving to school, is likely a future perpetrator or a future victim of gender-based violence. What conversations should we as a society be having with our children, with our families?
I think first it begins with the family. Socializing their children correctly, particularly their boy children, that you should not abuse any woman. It talks to the families themselves, mother and fathers not fighting and not calling each one by names that are derogatory. It talks to what is happening outside in our schools. It talks to what is happening in our churches, Sunday schools, and everybody else in our communities led by our traditional leaders, that women are not sex objects and that women are not just anything or objects that can be beaten at any given time, and they must be respected, etc. But also for now, facing the reality that we have crime, and therefore don't take anyone for granted and think that because he looks decent, he's properly dressed, therefore this is the right person. Take time before you know, try to get to know about this person. Where does he come from? Where is his home? Do that on your own without him before you can go out with that person. So I think it's an important message that you need to send out. Take time to know him.
All right. Minister in the Presidency for Women, Youth and People with Disabilities, Sindisiwe Chikunga.